A lot of the portions of the Quran we memorize, and we often rehearse it. We rehearse and rehearse and rehearse. Because we don't rehearse memorizing the Quran, you'll forget. So while as soon as the scholar sits in the aeroplane, as soon as he takes off, he's in a comfortable place. As soon as he starts to flip the pages of the Quran, the people next to him actually think he's a terrorist who's praying his last prayer before the flight goes off. This happened to personally scholars I know, internationally recognized people. They told me. So they have to actually sit and tell the fellow who's more stereotyped, the Muslims or you. Then they realize, okay, it's the fault. So that's the worst. That's the worst. Right? So that's one of it. Earlier it was different. I remember when I was young, as soon as they see the name Muhammad, the first question, even local Chinese suppliers I had to ask me, hey, how many wives have you got? You see? There is an allowance, yes, but it comes with a huge responsibility also. In today's world, if you can fulfill the needs of a woman, the one wife, it's already success already. Yes, so I hope that's where we find, we have been honored, alienated.
How many wives? How about you, brother? One.
I don't know. I'm single.
Me, one.
So I think this is a common stereotype, but I asked other brothers because I want to have the majority thoughts, not only personal. That about the terrorism, so maybe it's not like the major the versus the stereotype that non-Muslims have about Muslims. Any other question? Thank you. It's a very good question actually.
Which part of Islamic road to success is most different from the other roads of success, like maybe Christian or other?
No, actually the success I'm talking about, there are many training courses for the personal development. You know, they pay money, many business people, they go to train executive MBA, etc. They have courses about success. And I just wanted to get this word success not from the material point of view, and put it there that it comes actually not from the money, and position. Actual success in the broad meaning and the true meaning, it comes from the religion that really teach you how to be a good person, how to be the right person, and that also will lead to the huge success not only in this world and hereafter also. So this topic was adapted from the executive training courses for the people, for the success in the material, in the business, and I thought that actually the Islamic also teach us how to be successful on different fields, in trade, in real life, in community, in neighborhood, in negotiation, etc. So just, it's not comparing to other religions or something.
So you're asking us about the Islamic definition of success?
No, I'm actually asking about which part of the rules that you guys think is most different from others.
Yeah, I said that when we Muslims think about that, we don't think only these world conditions. The real successful Muslim that think that we will do that in this world, and it also will succeed not only succeed you in this world, also in hereafter. We are talking about the really long-term success, not bound by a certain period on the certain boundaries.
Success in Islam is, Islam gave a completely new definition of success. Right? If you look at it in the pre-Islamic way, just like we look at today, success is defined by how much you are worth in general. Right? What is your bank account? What's your balance? How many industries you really hold? How many people work for you? Right? So, but what Islam has done, it has redefined the very understanding of success from a spiritual point of view, from a material point of view, and from a psychological point of view. It has taken everything into consideration, and God has given a new definition. Whereas other religions, if you look at any other religion, success again, they associate very much with your success in your career, in the materialistic world. They can't really give you a clear-cut definition of what success is in any other religion. If you go to ask a father or a pandit in the temple, what is the definition of success? They can't give you except what we all commonly know as a successful business. It all comes down to economical stance. But what Islam has done is, it has removed that burden by saying if you want to be successful, then there is a legacy every prophet of God left behind. So every Muslim is taught from a very young age that if you are good at something, master it. See, everybody has a set of skills. And my skills differ from yours. You're good at something, I may not be good at it. Some of you may be good writers, I may not be a good writer. Some of you may be very good listeners, I may not be a good listener. Some of you may be a good sportsperson. So Islam acknowledges these different shades of human beings. So what Islam said, as you can see in the Quran, throughout the Quran, every prophet left behind a legacy. So as a Muslim, we are to leave behind a legacy when we pass out from this world. Whether you are a woman, try to be the best mother you can be, and you contribute to the community. As a whole, what Islam says is whatever you do, you have to contribute positively to the community with whatever faculty that you have. Like the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said, God likes the one who does a job and he perfects it. Not just do it. He perfects, he masters what he does. If you are a goldsmith, master what you are good at. And then you leave behind, even after you're gone, people will follow your legacy. You see, you understand what I'm saying? So every single human shoulder, every single human, especially Muslims, actually shoulder the responsibility of leaving something for the next generation. That's why today, unfortunately, in the name of progress, we are destroying the earth. We are leaving literally nothing for the next generation. You see, 50, 60 years ago, if you had a grandfather, and if you have told him a time will come when people will bottle water and they will sell it, it will surprise them. Water is available everywhere. Why should we sell it in a supermarket? And today we have a time where the UN as well as world organizations are cautioning the whole of humanity, saying that there will come a time water is going to be unavailable. Water is going to cost more than petrol itself, which is a reality in the Middle East. Right? A bottle of water is more expensive compared to a liter of petrol. So in the name of progress, what we have done as humans, we destroyed everything. We made the entire system of balance. And we call this a progress. My progress should not be at the cost of your experience. In Islam, that makes that very clear. So when Islam talks about success, when a Muslim talks about success, he's talking about success in this world, and then he's connecting that with the hereafter. You know why? Because in Islam, any good deed you do is considered an act of worship. It's not just you go 5 times a day to the mosque and you pray. No, that's the essential part of your worship. But even a smile on your face, Prophet said, is a child. And we say the least of good act is to remove any harmful object from the path of human beings. And then in another hadith, the sayings of the Prophet, he said, if you see the day of judgment approaching, it's coming, and you have a seed in your hand to plant it. So day of judgment means everything is going to be destroyed. So what's the point of really putting that seed into the soil? Because it's an act of good. Don't give up. So Islam gave a complete new definition and really worked on the Muslims to carry forward. For example, I'll tell you the legacies that we enjoy today, the comfort we enjoy today. If you go back to the origin, you will either find the Prophet who started it, or his companions, or the communities who claim themselves to be Muslims. Social welfare system. You know who started it? It was started by Umar radiallahu anhu. Social welfare. You have a child in the house, the government actually pays you. Umar radiallahu anhu started. System of platforms, roads, and public lights started by Umar radiallahu anhu. Infrastructure within the city and outside the city started by Umar, the second caliph of Islam. The system of check, you know, check, you issue checks, was first started by Umar. So you see, they left a legacy way today before, and we sometimes don't even realize, actually this was started by a very humble servant of Allah. Healthcare system. You go back, you know, the history bears record. I'm not saying it, you don't have to take my words for granted, you can go back and do your own studies. So this is how Islam wants the Muslims to live and leave behind the legacy people. Here's my brother.
Thank you, brother. It's just been a nice condition to go. Thank you for listening very carefully for your attention. And I think brothers will help to answer your questions. I have to go now. Thank you for listening. Yeah, thank you for your attention. For your question, I think brothers are ready.
That brother was easy to have. So, yeah, answer your question. Yes, sister.
And so what's the Islamic view on wars, military actions, or death sentences? Is there any circumstances under which you believe killing other people is acceptable and even unavoidable sometimes?
You see, Islam stands for peace. We are not only saying this, but Allah, I'm telling you, even at the time of the Prophet, for 13 years, because he claimed to be a prophet, he was tortured, tormented, humiliated, accused, his followers were executed. For 13 years, the Quran only told him, hold peace. Let them know what you're doing, you, O Muhammad, devote yourself in the worship. That's it. This is the instruction. Can you imagine the very people you grew up with turn against you overnight just because you claim you're a prophet and then you're getting revelation from him. And you told the people who worship anything and everything that your God is one, and these idols and statues have no place. Because of this, they started to attack him. So since they couldn't attack him directly, because he's coming from a very high-level clan, because this community was a tribal society, so you are protection, because they didn't have police system at that time. It was all your family. If you're coming from a very noble tribe, your tribe will protect you. So people will not even just come and do any harm to you. Despite all that, they came and harmed him. They harmed him so much, they used words that offended him, which Quran clarifies. You see? So what sin did Prophet Muhammad commit? Nothing. He called people to the truth. He told the people at that time to worship one God. Respect the womb that bore you. Respect your mother. Respect the woman force. Treat your neighbors with kindness. Treat your servant with kindness. Don't overburden them. Don't overburden your animals. These are his teachings. He said a master and a slave is like a tooth and a nail. Dress them with what you dress, feed them with what you feed. This is for your servants. Don't kill your child as soon as you know it's a female baby. Don't bury them alive. You will be questioned on the day of judgment for killing a female baby. So these are teaching. For this, they hunted him down. For 13 years, Quran said, O Prophet, they humiliate you, they criticize you, stand and worship in the second, third of the night. This is what you need. But as soon as, after 13 years, the revelation comes to Prophet Muhammad that you should migrate to a place where there are lots of date palm trees. And that place was called Yathrib at that time, and now we call it Medina. Medina means a city. The real name is Medinatul Nabi, the city of the Prophet. As soon as he migrated there, the Muslims who retained and lived, stayed behind in Mecca, their properties were seized. They were beaten up. So now what to do? Now we have an Islamic government already. Then the revelation comes to the Prophet. Fight them as they fought. Drive them out as they drove you out. Slay them as they slay you. Eye for eye, tooth for tooth. You see the conditions? Fight them as they fought you. Slay them as they slayed you. Drive them out as they drove you out. But if they seek peace, do not cause war. For God dislikes the one who causes war. This is a revelation person. As soon as this revelation was revealed, then Prophet Muhammad prepared him and his followers to fight. For 13 years, it was a 14 and a half. It was over 14 years of perseverance, patience. When it went off board, the revelation came, fight them now. Because there are times sweet words do not do the job. You understand? Even Mahatma Gandhi, people say he was a peace. He was just. You think the British left India because Mahatma Gandhi was on a hunger protest? No. People took arms. There are times you have to take arms. If you have to fix the transgressors, you have to take arms. If you're just going to sit there and talk about an eye for,